Thank you, Jeanette. Let's come together now in meditation as we close our eyes and focus our awareness within, leaving the cares and concerns of the world and coming to our sanctuary, to the heart center. We'll begin by remembering that we are holy. Take a gentle breath, and as you exhale, feel your shoulders soften and relax. Now we'll do a progressive relaxation of the body, allowing it to become more and more relaxed as we move toward our center. Bring the awareness to the feet. Tighten the toes and relax. Now move the feet from side to side, wiggle the toes, and forget about them. Bring the awareness to the legs. Tighten them and relax. Gently roll the legs from side to side and forget about them. Bring the awareness to the buttocks. Squeeze so that it lifts you up and relax. Bring the awareness to the hands. Tighten, make fists, and relax. Gently wiggle the fingers, releasing any tension. Move the arms from side to side and relax. Now bring the awareness to the shoulders. Lift them up towards your ears, squeeze, and relax. Gently roll the head from side to side, mentally relaxing the neck muscles. Return the head to center and relax. Bring the awareness to the face. Squeeze the lips together in a pout and relax. Gently move the jaw from side to side and relax. Now, raise the eyebrows, wrinkle the forehead, relax. Squeeze the eyes closed, tight, 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 and relax. And now, bring the awareness within and focus without trying to change it, but just focus on the breath. Be the witness, allowing it to come and go. And you may notice your body relax even more and your mind relax as you focus on the breath. Now bring the awareness to the mind. Become aware of the thoughts that come and go without holding on to them, just remaining separate and apart as a witness. Imagine the thoughts are leaves floating by on a gentle stream. And now give up the watching of the thoughts. Let the leaves float by until they are out of sight. Letting thoughts of the world go, we turn our hearts and minds to God. And feel the prayer for protection as you go within and rest in His presence. The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. Bask in the silence. Father, Mother, God, thank you for the silence, for the love and peace that's in this room and in my heart. Teach me to share that love with one and all. Guide us today as we focus on our spiritual nature. We know you've always been with us. Help us remember the times when we felt especially close to you. Help us experience our oneness. We ask in the name of the Christ living within each of us. Amen. It's good to be back with you. And I appreciate Valerie making that possible. I'm coming to you from my living room, but we've done this before during COVID. So it's kind of familiar. The topic, if you read the newsletter, is kind of strange. I made it up and it just came off the top of my head. And after giving it some thought, I think it's strange, but I'm going to explain it to you. It was inspired by someone saying, and I think it was in church and it may have been during a talk, I heard the thought expressed, your obituary is a lie. And I thought, well, because of the temporal nature of our bodies and blah, 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 that's probably true. But we're not just bodies. We know that we're also spirit. The reality of our being is spirit, God within us. And our job here on earth is to express that God and to become closer to that God. So what I'd like for us to do today is think about those times in your life when you felt touched by the Spirit or God worked in your life. And I know from my experience with recovery that when people share their truth, it resonates with everyone. So I hope as I share my spiritual obituary, and that's what I mean by that is the times in my life where I felt especially touched by spirit. We've all heard the expression, you can't take it with you. Well, I know that my tablet and my phone and all that would be really heavy were I to try and take all the stuff. that I use now. But what we can take with us, as Marianne Williamson said, the only thing from the past that remains is the love that was given and the love that was received. So, from that perspective, looking at our lives, looking at our spiritual lives, I want us to see where we are on our journey. And no one's uh, better or worse. We're all on the same road. The Course in Miracles tells us that we're all going to get there, and it's just easier if we hold hands along the way. I like thinking of the expression, all roads lead to Rome. To me, I picture a mountain and we're all headed to the top of the mountain. And we we keep going around and around, and we may run into other people along the way, but we all have our own journeys. For a long time, I compared my journey with others, and I thought there was a right way and a wrong way. And now I'm still learning my way. And more and more, I want that way to be in alignment with God's way. Uh, so I am thinking of life more now in terms of eternity. And I had never thought of this before. I've always thought that reincarnation made sense because the soul doesn't die. Well, where does it go? And, all of this stuff. So, and I know that we don't die, that, it's just our bodies, we drop our bodies, but our soul lives on. So I've never thought of my soul living on before me. I just thought of it living on after me. But I'm an eternal being. So I've been here since time began as part of God. We're all part of God. So anyway, I just like to think about things, and that's something I've been thinking of lately. Do you remember when you first became aware of God? Maybe it was in Sunday school, being taught something. I'm sure many of you have had revelations. I think it's exciting to share those and learn about other people's walks. It helps to reinforce and validate our experiences. I'd always known there was a God, but I thought that he was unhappy with me, and I hadn't been perfect, and I sure didn't measure up to the people that I thought were. But I started a personal relationship with God after I discovered that I really needed him in my life, and realized that I had made pretty much a mess of things. I started asking God for help in 1978 when I had a divine intervention. And that is to say, there was a voice in my head, and I had a knowing, and that was, you're an alcoholic and you need help. The night before, I hadn't been an alcoholic, but there was no doubt in my mind that I needed help. And I made my way to a meeting. That was 45 years ago or something. I haven't had to have a drink since. I was introduced to the 12 Steps of Recovery, which is a spiritual program. I was told to turn my life and my will over to the care of God as I understand him. and my life began to change. I had, I was not alone. I had some direction in my life. I had uh, friends. They had become to be friends, many of them, and they were on they were like-minded people, and they were on the same spiritual journey that I was. I think it really helps to have friends along the way. Through AA, I met a group of women in recovery, and we started studying You Can Heal Your Life by Louise Hay. Um, we've talked about it before in church. It's a wonderful book. Uh, and the first book I ever read about the body-mind experience. Um, we read together, listened to one another, meditated together. It was a very special time. And it was on a uh, weekend trip that we took to South Padre uh, to celebrate harmonic convergence, which I thought was kind of woo-woo, but some of our members had found out about it, and it was supposed to be a special time on the planet because of the alignment of planets. And I mean, I don't know what all it was, but we were to prepare and pray about it. And I knew enough by that time to know that I didn't know what was good for me. And what I prayed for was God's will. And I knew I wanted it to have something to do with healing. You know, and I didn't have any idea what that meant. But anyway, we were on the beach the morning of harmonic convergence meditating. And in the middle of that meditation, I had a spiritual experience that changed my life. And that is, I know what it was now. My heart chakra opened. I didn't know what a chakra was, but I was uh, not hurled, but I went out into the universe and realized my connection to all that is, and was filled with love for every planet, every person, even myself. Uh, before that time, I hadn't been able to touch people. I was just real insecure. And from that meditation, we all kind of woke up together. I went and massaged the backs of all the women who were there. It seemed silly to me not to worry about touching them since we were already connected. We were already touching. And that opened me up to my work as a massage therapist and a body worker, which I found such joy in. I think I'm so grateful for that opportunity, because I would tell people my hands is how I love best, you know. And when I was working on people, even when I was doing energy work, I knew that it wasn't just us. God was always part of that picture. And it was very special for me. Um, when I got my spiritual uh, sign from God that I needed to go to massage school, I was quite surprised, because I was very happy in my art room. But I was being led, and I knew it. And I knew that if God wanted me to do it, I'd make enough money to pay my bills. Um, and I had a great time doing it. I touched many people, and they blessed me. I knew when I went to massage school also that I needed to go to Sachidananda ashram, and I didn't even know what an ashram was. but that's where I studied yoga, and I was able to teach yoga for many years, and that was a blessing to me and others as well. Um, and that's because I was listening to the guidance that I had. I connected with Unity and other groups. I've always been a seeker. I've known that there was something bigger than me and was able to connect to it in different ways. Um, I did write a talk, and now I'm kind of looking at it to see if I'm talking about anything related to it. Oh, so in my if only the love remains, and I look at my life now, I feel good. I feel grateful for my spiritual path, which has led me to forgiving myself and others, which has let me have a greater glimpse of the peace and joy that's inside of me. God, there's a spark of divinity within us. And I think our job here on earth is to fan that flame and let it express. The right way is the way that truly expresses the magnificence within you. Um, I think we were here to have fun along the way. That's my own personal opinion. Um, and I think God speaks to people in different ways. That my job of judging others, I'm hanging up my hat. I had a friend once who had a um, card that said that he was the ex-general manager of the world. Well, that's a good position to hold. And I think I'm going to retire to that group as well. Um, we claim spiritual progress rather than spiritual perfection. I hope that when you look back on your life journey as a soul, that you will find those mountaintops and you will see that you have progressed. And it isn't a race. We're all going to get there. I love you all, and I appreciate your letting me serve you. Namaste.